Hello and welcome to Roll for That. This is our Gravemire adventure, and I am Paxton. I will be the dealer or game master for this adventure.
I am Vance, the sad doctor who has two less fingers this game.
I'm Jebediah. I've been on a leave for a minute, but I should be coming back.
And I am Raquel. Um, close call with death last time. Um, got a couple new aversions, so that will be fun.
What could go wrong?
Nothing.
It's just the Bayou. All right. Vance and Raquel. When we last left the two of you, you had taken cover uh, on some. Let me see. Amid some rocks on top of a hill. Does that sound familiar?
Yes, the rocks that I stood on to keep me from being crushed.
Yes. Um, but the two of you are now safe. If I recall correctly, we've already done a little healing roll to keep Raquel from completely dying.
Yes, Raquel is doing much better. Um,
Um,
I don't know if she asked how you survived.
well, why don't we pick it up with that
Okay,
conversation then?
Vance, where did you go? Like, I thought you would have been crushed by all the cascading rocks and. The, I'm happy you're here, but how?
I was almost crushed, but a friend saved me. They came up from the ground and pulled me down.
Again, she kind of gives you a hug as she is much happier to be with somebody than by herself.
What what was that thing that came after you? It seemed to really want to get you. Was it just a hungry beast?
I think it was my fiance, but he shouldn't be here, and he's not a cat. But and she's like about to say the flower's name, but catches herself as like kind of flashes of the newer version set in her
Hmm.
mind.
Would I be able to roll a stories check about loved ones appearing in this area? See if there's anything I've heard from around the village, or maybe something I've heard before of loved ones appearing, or not loved ones in that case.
Um, sure. You can do a stories roll. What is your intention with this? Like, what do you intend to do with this knowledge?
Um, Vance is worried about more things coming. Like, is that the only thing we have to look out for? Is that specific form? Is like, if is that actually what happened? Could it have been some kind of hallucination? And there's also a part of him that probably is worried that his wife could show up like that.
Okay. So you
So
mostly you wanted more for your own information than for the chance to comfort Raquel.
I think it's mostly like, in the future, is that all we have to look out for? Is this specific creature hunting down Raquel?
I see.
And then, like, back up in his head as he's thinking through these stories, he starts to worry a little bit. But
Okay.
mostly it's like, is it just this thing, or is it like, okay, so apparently her ex fiance has died and now his spirit haunts the bayou and hunts her, kind of thing.
Hmm. Yeah. You can go ahead and give me a stories roll for that. That is going to be a +1 to your two
It's
d
not going to be
twelve.
a nothing.
Ooh.
It's not a compounded failure, luckily, but it is a failure.
It is a failure. Let me see. You are fairly certain that you have not heard anything about this before. Okay.
Yeah, Vance is just quiet for a moment, and then he says, like, I'm glad that you're all right as well. And he looks down at like all the cuts and stuff and says, well, as all right as we've got you now.
Yeah. She looks pineward towards the oddly smoke-shaped tree.
Hmm. Now that you are, now that you are closer, the tree no longer resembles smoke. It is now very clearly a uncannily tall and thin pine tree.
Yeah.
That's
And as she watches, she's like, we better go find this musician before it gets back.
Vance nods at that and helps her up and says, you can't be too much further.
Okay.
someone give me a skill check related to navigation and perception, or perception. There we go.
I will do a trailblazing check.
Okay.
I'm guessing, unless Vance would like to.
If you think I should, since Raquel is so damaged, I will absolutely roll one.
I don't think there's anything else I could add, so I'm fine doing a trailblazing check, but I wouldn't be I don't think I'd be adding like a perception thing or anything else of my
Okay,
skill.
yeah, I think no matter what, your roll is probably going to be better.
Okay. I got 23 plus 3, so I am really good at trailblazing.
23 plus
so
3.
26.
26. Well, that sounds to me like a rousing success. Which means to me the two of you travel fairly quickly. You're making great time now. The earth is still beneath your feet once again. The hills are sloping back down into the swamp below. And it does not take very long for the sound of small birds and insects and scurrying and burrowing creatures to return to the grasses and undergrowth around you. It also doesn't take long for a a breeze to drift past you, carrying upon it the sound of singing and laughter and the smell of a well-cooked meal. A well-cooked meal that prominently features cabbage.
Vance, I think I missed Jebediah.
We're not expecting a song here, are we?
No.
Like I can smell Jebediah. Like it smells like cabbage.
Put of this in here, put a little of that there.
I can hear Jebediah.
I can too. Vance like looks around for a moment, and like he's definitely got the shotgun like gripped tighter for his like this place is full of tricks. And last time we heard cooking, it was the giant, you know. So he's just like, what is going on? And let's Let's head that way, just in case.
When there's cabbage in the stew.
Yeah.
uh,
With a more hopeful look, Raquel definitely heads that way. But her hand is definitely on her saber as well.
I assume I'm there.
yes, the two of you uh, carefully walk through a small stand of trees, and you encounter a little whitewashed picket fence with a little gate latched with a tiny piece of twine. Um, and beyond that gate, you see a a comfy little cottage surrounded by a large and fruitful garden. You see the glimmer of what looks like a large fish pond in the grounds behind it. And in the kind of lawn area, or on the large wraparound porch around this cottage, you see a familiar figure who is enjoying the breeze cooking outside.
May I ask, Jebediah, what are you cooking? Is it just a stew that you were singing about, or are you cooking more?
Oh, I've been. Oh, I'm so sorry. I've been here for too long, but I kept finding more things. Uh, I am making a stew. There's other things here too, but the stew is the main ingredient.
Raquel starts crying at the sight, and
He
she
also
like
has his trademark pan cooking on next to the stew pot as well.
with tears and trepidation in her voice, she's like, "How do we know it's actually Jebediah?"
I'm pretty
Are
sure he just gestures to the pan.
are the two of you entered this property?
I don't think I've stepped across the line yet.
Okay.
I
Yeah,
probably
think
would
Vance
say,
isn't it?
well, come on, get over here.
What did Vance say? Sorry.
Oh, I was just saying Vance is probably standing next to Raquel as well.
Um, so Jebediah waves like, "Come on, get over here," and it's just like,
Yeah, if you guys just stand there for a while, Jeb's gonna get up and go over to the fence and like start undoing the twine.
yeah, probably stand there like stupefaction.
Mm. Uh, the the twine is just like got a little loop tied in it that is then like hung on a nail, so the wind can't open the gate, but pretty much anybody can if they want to.
Yeah, Jeb opens it right up, opens it, I'll be like, opens the gate, and then gestures in and says, "You guys look like you need a good meal. Come on in."
um,
Jebediah,
Vance goes. Sorry.
no, you go for it.
Vance speaks up and just quickly says, real quick, do you remember how many birds we fought that first night out in the Bayou, Jebediah?"
No. Why would I remember how many damn birds there are?
Vance looks to Raquel and shrugs. It's like, that sounds right.
Yeah, I think Raquel's more comfortable with it, and she'll cross the threshold.
Vance does as well.
Excellent. Um, as the three of you finally make your greetings official, a voice can be heard coming from inside the cottage. Jeb, who's that coming in here? And someone appears in the doorway. Um, I would like to build this person collaboratively now, I think. Um, the rules are that this person uh, is let me see. What are we the general rule is that she is beautiful and physically non-threatening, but all the other details are up to you. I'd like one detail from each of you.
She wears mostly clothes that look like it's made from the foliage around the house.
Okay.
She has somewhere between 3 and 7 eyes, but the number always changes every time you look at her.
And then she has a strand of the most beautiful, like, snow white hair in, like, a head full of, like, dark hair. Whether it's brown or black, you can't tell.
But there is like a platinum streak through her otherwise dark hair.
Yes.
I really like the drastic difference in uh, directions that you all wanted or decided to go with your details. But I love that. All right, Cameron, if you need to step away for a moment, that's fine by me.
So let me so traditionally, like in folklore, this is just me, a
Mhm.
white streak tends to be a horror streak, like something dramatic has happened in that person's path,
Yes.
which is interesting.
Yeah, I really enjoy that thought as well.
Because that's why in Legend of Vox Machina, that's why or not, yeah, in Vox Machina, that's why Pike's hair is white, is because
Mhm.
in their pre-game before they ever started recording, Pike had died, and when they resurrected her, her hair was white.
Mhm.
Okay, looks like our friend is back.
Friend
Yep.
is back.
Cameron.
There are no ants here. Friend isn't back.
Oh, I'll make ants. I just need my sisters here. Oh, sorry, wrong kind of ants. Hey. Yeah, um,
Anyway, yes.
This
So
beautiful, non-threatening woman steps out.
yes, this beautiful, non-threatening woman with a biblically accurate number of eyes um, steps out of the house. She is drying her hands with some kind of a dish rag, and she stops. And the expressions that cross her face when she sees the three of you flicker quickly through excitement, sadness, loss, resignation, and gratitude. Um,
Oh, these are my friends here. This is my good friend Vance and Raquel.
she grins and quickly crosses the space uh, between you. Not supernaturally quickly, but with a certain amount of
gusto.
gusto is a good word for it. And she just goes in to hug the both of you, and she says, um, I'm so glad that. Oh man, was that the voice I was doing earlier? I totally lost it. Either way, I'm so glad uh, that Jeb's friends have finally come to visit and to take you back home, right?
I,
I'm I'm glad you have people like this to watch out for you. Um,
Y- Yeah, well, I was planning on going any day now anyway, but hadn't quite made it to it.
of course, of course. There's there's always so much to do here. Um, and she smiles, and it's a kind of a sad smile, and she says, "Before you go, let's share one more meal. After all, we wouldn't want your stew to go to waste."
Perfect, exactly. That's what I was thinking.
I, 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 I believe we could use a rest.
um,
Oh, of course. And then she sees the extent of Raquel's wounds and goes into mother hen mode. "Oh, you poor thing! What has happened? Here, oh, come along this way. Let's get this sorted out." Um, and she uh flicks out her dish towel, and suddenly it lengthens and broadens and becomes a large fuzzy quilt, which she wraps around Raquel's shoulders and starts ushering you inside.
yes. And Raquel goes inside.
Raquel and Vance, um, you each regain one willpower for entering a space that is and feels safe.
Hmm. Now this is the kind of place I can come back to.
If you can find it.
Yes. That is always the trouble in the Bayou.
um, let's see. Time doesn't have much meaning inside this woman's uh, homestead, and especially inside the cottage. It is everything about this space is small and comfortable and suited perfectly for the number of people who happen to be there. She has exactly enough plates and bowls and cups for everyone. Um, there are exactly enough slices of pie left underneath a towel on the counter for everyone. Um, the the table has just barely enough chairs for everyone. These are things that are always true inside of this house.
I didn't even know you had 4 chairs.
Um, she just gives you that sad smile again and says, "I always have enough for as many visitors as I have."
Well,
Um,
that's perfect. I have this meal here now just ready. Everyone bring your bowls.
mhm. And there's just enough food in the stew pot for uh, for everyone to eat. And it is the best stew that any of you have eaten before. Uh, let's see. I don't particularly want to force you to make a skill roll for this, Jebediah. Um.
All
He
right.
could, if I may,
Oh, go
he could
ahead.
he could roll a cooking check and treat it like a heal check with the connected attributes.
Okay, I was thinking about doing something similar. Let me look at the rules for that really quickly. For
There is specific rules to like take care of willpower on that.
let me look at this.
But there,
Oh man, a good meal makes perfect sense for helping willpower.
It really does. Um,
the thing is, if you fail, I actually lose willpower.
But
right.
not in here.
I'm gonna gain a new aversion to really good soup.
What the hell is this? It tastes too good. I don't trust it.
How could I ever eat soup again?
All right, Cameron, if you would like to roll your check to make this soup, I think that both your cooking and gastronomy skills apply to this. So you can have the full +6.
Well, that'll be an 18.
That's still pretty okay, if I recall.
Yeah, that's a full success.
That is a full success. All right. Each of you who shares this meal may increase your maximum health or willpower by 1, and also gain 1 in that stat.
So, recover 1 and max up 1.
Yes. So like go up to 4 out of 5 instead of 3 out of 4, etc.
Well, I didn't do the healing from stepping in, unless you did for me on my character sheet. You did not. Okay.
I did not.
So I will go up to
Healing from last time, I did.
6 of 8.
If that's what. question was
Stepping
about.
into the house or
Oh,
the
okay.
thing gave us 1.
Mhm.
I was full on that, so I did not touch it.
Yeah, the gate around the property has a similar effect to the border around Scarstone for restoring willpower.
That is very cool.
Because I wanted to make this game slightly less punishing, and there's nothing in the rules that says I can't. Oh, speaking of that, let's put y'all in a different slide really quickly. I have another one that's good. Yeah.
Show me in the rule book.
Ooh. Zoltan Tassel? Good job. That's a really good. I like that image.
It's a really good photo. Anyway, so yes, I indeed, time is funny here, and pretty soon you find yourselves all drowsy and full of good food and comfortable from good conversation and looking for a place to rest your heads. It is dark outside, and you feel comfortable enough that when the woman uh, brings out blankets and pillows and uh, shows you all to some guest rooms that Jebediah was not aware existed, um, it sounds perfectly reasonable and good to take a little nap and continue tomorrow.
Thank you for your hospitality. And Raquel goes to bed.
Yeah, I assume I'm used to it now. I also just go to bed, not even questioning whatsoever.
Absolutely.
Vance stays up a little bit later than both of them while he goes out and smokes on the porch And if the lady follows, he says,
It was a hard day. Thank you for your kindness.
Oh, it's really no problem. No burden either. I don't get visitors often, and I always try to do my best to do good by them. She sits down in a rocking chair out on the porch and starts knitting. She is not looking at you, not with the eyes on her face, but there is one eye on her wrist that that does watch you.
I think Vance finishes the cigarette and goes back inside and rests
Hmm.
for the evening.
The next morning, the three of you wake to the smell of breakfast, the sound of chickens, uh, specifically the roosters crowing. Though all chickens make a lot of noise in the morning, they just do that. Oh no,
Yeah, it's
I'm having
awake time.
anyway. It's awake time. There's light outside. Um,
I'm pretty sure Jeb hops right up when he smells that something's cooking and joins in and helps.
hmm Absolutely. She has purposefully left the uh, the parts of breakfast that Jeb enjoys preparing the most for him to do.
Aw.
I'm making the grits and the bacon, guys, so look out.
Oh, you got to make the grits in the bacon grease, right?
Of course.
Um. Anyway, if we don't want to have too many more little scenes here,
Yeah. I
we
th-
can skip. Oh, go ahead.
yeah, I think over breakfast, Raquel will explain that we're looking for a musician to Jebediah. We don't necessarily need to act it out, but
Okay, yeah. Um, absolutely. The three of you share information, catch each other up.
yes.
And he's in the pines.
Yeah, I think Jeb would just acknowledge that, finish cooking and eat. Or I guess we did this over breakfast, not before.
Right.
Um, and then would turn to our host and just again be very grateful and thankful and just say that it's been the best. It's been a great 3 weeks, and he's so great that he was, or great grateful that he was here.
Um, Jebediah, you haven't been gone 3 weeks.
Uh, well, I think I have been. I've been here for 21 nights of sleeping anyway.
What? What? Um,
Good talk. Good talk.
yeah. With that, Raquel gives like a wary glance to our gracious host, but she
Mm.
doesn't say anything in the house. She doesn't want to
Oh,
offend her.
All
of
my
course.
stuff is pretty much packed up though, so I'm good to go. I've been planning on leaving for a long time now.
Yeah, you've been packed for days.
Um,
Well, everything that you didn't need immediately, you know.
Of course, of course. I've been living in my suitcase, as they say.
But anyway, uh, right around mid morning rolls around, and your hostess says, "Well, it should be safe to step out now, at least for the next little while. I don't sense any dangers nearby. So if you're going to leave today, I think now is the time to do it." And she gives each of you a hug and says, um, "If if you ever find yourselves here again, you are welcome to stay as long as you need."
thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, you know I will. And we all leave out the twine gate.
Everyone roll a willpower check.
Back down to 5.
Oof.
I'm fine. I don't know what's wrong with you guys.
Note that
Wait.
you are trying to roll below
Below.
your.
Sorry, I'm the wrong
Yeah.
direction. I am.
Yeah, I
I
messed
I,
up.
I am okay.
Mm-hmm.
I am not so okay.
Me and neither.
I got a lucky break this time.
Yeah.
I almost forgot. I caught it
I
right
was-
as you were saying it. I'm like, oh yeah.
I was really attached.
Oh, absolutely. Let's reduce your willpower now. Okay, gotcha.
And
It is very difficult for Jebediah and Vance to leave, especially. Raquel, you do find yourself wishing you could stay a little longer. But Jebediah, this place has felt like home for a while now. And um it
Every like 5 feet or 10 feet or so, I'll turn and look back at the fence until the point where I can't see the fence anymore.
absolutely. And Vance, this isn't like that. This isn't quite like that for you, but there is something about the situation that reminds you a lot of the last time you spoke with your wife before you left to come here. And there is a sense that you get that you might never find a place as welcoming and soft and comfortable as that before you die horribly out here. And that is a hard thought to have. But you muscle through.
Keep on going.
The three of you are able to step out into the bayou, and soon the sound of the wind crying fades from your ears, and you are once again out in the wilds. I would like one of you to roll a check that has something to do with navigation or traveling quickly.
I shall.
I can't help, guys. Sorry.
I am more than willing to trailblaze Pineward.
All right. Let's see, Raquel. It looks like you're above 5 willpower again,
Yes.
which is very nice.
That is an 11.
Are
Just so
you-
you're aware, before if I go to 5 willpower, I will not be affected again because I have not gone to 7 yet.
correct.
Just
Yep. Thank you for pointing that out, making sure that it is clear.
and so what did I say? 11. That is
You
a
said
failure.
11. What bonuses are you adding here?
Just trailblazing.
Just trailblazing.
Yeah.
I believe you also get a +1 for the compass that is in your
Oh
possession.
yes. I do have a compass. I have it written. I keep forgetting about using it on stuff. Okay. So partial success.
Okay. What does that mean? Let me. Well, unless someone has a pitch, I can draw a card and see what it tells me. Let's go with that. And I will even draw it publicly. One spindle wheel card, Lonely Aria. A song from the old country, a language all but forgotten, an opera abandoned, a novel left unwritten, a haunting undescribed. A song from the old country is very good.
If
This is a
if Raquel is leading, a song from the old country may be like a Basque song or um,
mhm,
something like that, a Catalan.
yes. This was your role to travel from hereish to hereish as you are headed pineward. Curious. Um, yeah, I think Raquel. Oh man, that doesn't feel very partial success to me. No, you know what? I like it. Um, you travel quickly and effectively and are able to make it to the pine itself. And when you do, you find a young man uh, sitting just uh, at the base of the tree, and he is playing Spanish guitar and singing in Basque.
Ooh. Um, do we have a name of the musician?
No, I we do not. Does anybody have a pitch for a name or some details about this young man?
Um, there is a description I have of him where he is surprisingly clean.
Ooh, that's a good detail.
For some reason, I'm hearing this name Euresticles, and I don't know why.
Euresticles nuts? No. Euresticles is a very fun name, though.
He goes by Eurist. No.
I think that he's surprisingly clean, and the reason it's so surprising is because it looks like he shouldn't be. Like his hair is really kind of mangy, like not mangy because it can't be, gets too clean, but it like looks really long and unkempt, and his hair is also pretty long,
Mm-hmm.
He
Yeah,
like
and
he,
like his clothes are in tatters, but they're like perfectly clean.
mm,
he's got the long fingernails with no dirt underneath them, and
yes. Euresticles Thomas. He
you,
goes by Eurist, though.
I was gonna say Tommy because I was gonna steal the name from the character in Oh Brother Where Art Thou.
Ooh, Tommy is very good, too.
Tommy these nuts. No.
Got him.
Yeah. Oh, gosh.
Oh man.
Um, no, we can absolutely go with he goes by Tommy. That's
Yeah.
actually even better.
Yeah.
I like that a lot. Um, but yeah, he is. Let me see. He's sitting at the base of this tree, this uh, this tree that people have called the mile pine because it is an unnervingly tall uh, pine tree. Um, I think it's a loblolly pine, but that doesn't matter. It might be a long. It doesn't matter. I'm
Yeah.
getting distracted by details that don't matter. Um, but he's playing, and he is singing in Basque, and he is completely absorbed in his music.
Question for you: Is
Yeah.
this a Basque song that Raquel would know? I know she speaks a lot of languages from the country of Spain. Um,
Hmm.
I don't think I think Spanish is her primary language, but does she recognize it? Do you think, or is it
Yes, it is Segalariac.
okay?
Um, Okay, maybe that's a joke. Too far, but yes, she does recognize it is like a folk work song about bringing in the harvest. So yeah, it is just Segalariak, if I remember correctly.
Yeah. She kind of joins in, not like trying to like join with him, but it's a catchy tune, and she's just kind of singing with him as she's or leading the group.
Hmm. Um. And
And
as the oh, go ahead.
I think just like as we get closer, eventually she'll stop and be like, "Tommy, is hey
And
Tommy."
there is a discordant uh man. What is a discordant thrum as he suddenly stops playing, and he looks up wild-eyed at the three of you, and he says, "You can see me? Am I real?"
Yeah,
You can see me. And he drops the guitar and jumps up and rushes toward the three of you with his arms outstretched.
Raquel backs off and like hand on the hilt of her saber.
Jeb steps into the embrace.
If that doesn't perfectly describe the difference between the two of you.
He says, "We can see you. Right, you're right here, bud. We're right here too."
uh, over Jebediah's shoulder, Raquel's like, your producer sent us to come and find you. He said you got lost out here."
Oh, Mr. Marshall didn't need to worry about me. Well, maybe he did if I'm not really just a dream. Oh, he must have been worried sick. Um, you now notice that now that you're closer, you notice that not only does he look perfectly clean, but he smells like soap. Um, and he has an instrument case strapped to his back. It is too small for the guitar he was playing.
Did
Is he like well fed or is he like emaciated?
He looks absolutely emaciated, and uh, his skin is incredibly dry and ashy. Um, his lips are cracked. Um, if you like tilt your head and bend your knees a little bit, you can see the telltale crust of dark reddish brown just inside of his nostrils that shows that he has had recent nosebleeds. Um, his eyes are uh, unsettlingly red from probably lack of sleep. Um, and uh, the fingers on his left hand, they're not just calloused. They look scarred from uh, playing string instruments.
Boy, I think you need to have some meat in you. I found some ingredients a while ago at this place I was staying at, and I really think you need to have some. And I pull out my frying pan immediately and start cooking or getting the fire going.
Uh huh.
And,
Absolutely.
and I'm like, we can get you back in just a moment. Another day's not gonna hurt you as far as getting back, but I think that another meal might.
At the mention of food, his stomach growls really loudly.
Did you bring that guitar out here with you, friend?
He says, "Oh, this one? Yes, sir, I did." And he scampers over and he scoops it up, and just like on reflex, he plays each string to make sure that it's still in tune, and he adjusts just a little bit. I've been practicing a lot. I think I'm I think I'm almost good enough. I think I'm gonna get there. I just need a little bit more time. And he starts not strumming the guitar, but just fingering the chords on the neck.
Um, I see you have a case on your back, but that's too small for your guitar. Did you get that out here, or did you bring that too?
He says, "Oh, this is this is nothing. Don't you worry about that. It's for later. It's a gift from a friend."
Was the friend here by the mile pine?
He he looks over both shoulders and like uh almost theatrically turns around like he's looking for someone. He says, "Nope, doesn't look like it."
Raquel looks over to Vance to, confirm that, hey, I think that's it.
Vance nods just a little bit, just like vague enough.
Now, boy, you feeling some salmon or you feeling some pig?
Uh, Either one, sir. They both sound mighty fine to me.
You said you were almost ready. What were you almost ready for again?
Oh, I'm almost good enough to record for that.
For
Did they
Mr.
call them records at this period? I'll say that they did, whether or not they did. Almost ready to record for that record. You know, those things is permanent, so I've got to be perfect.
Well, my plan is to make this food,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't know if we what I'm not sure if we're trying to convince him of something or just trying to bring him back when I'm done.
So we didn't really specify this, but we were supposed to stop him from bringing whatever he got out here back.
Ah,
So
okay. Um,
that was part of our
would you have
information dump.
told?
Yeah,
Would you have told that to Jeb in the traveling time and like when you met me and everything?
I
Like
think
all the
so.
information?
I think
Okay.
like we
See why
explained our
we wouldn't
mission.
have.
Can I, from the ingredients I would have had before, and maybe while we were traveling here, roll a experimental and gastrology? Or one second, not gas. Can I roll for gastronomy and experimental foraging to see if I can find something that would make him pass out or fall into a deep sleep?
Oh, that sounds perfect. Please do.
All right, so 2d12 so I got a 12 from the roll, and then if I get experimental and gastronomy, then that would be +6, so 18.
18 is pretty good. That is a full success. You carefully dose this out according to the knowledge that you gained from your weeks living at the cottage, and make it so that as he slowly eats this meal, which will nourish his body, he will also slowly and surely become more relaxed and sleepy until he passes out. Like right after swallowing the last bite.
Perfect. Upon him falling asleep, I turn to the other two and say, "Oh, well, all right, there you go. Should be able to take it now, right?"
Yeah. What is it strapped to his back? Is it like leather cord, or
Um,
is it something I can
it
cut? Is my sorry.
it looks like some kind of a woven like silk or something. Um,
So Raquel does not want to open the case and look at it in any way.
uh-huh.
So I think she's gonna start like pulling out her saber to like cut it off of his back, like cut the cord basically, rather than wrestle with his body, unless somebody
I
stops
think
me.
If I see you pull out the knife, I'd probably go, "Whoa, hey, I reckon we could probably just pull that off his back, yeah?
Mm, I
Like it's just a strap, isn't it?"
it's true. It is just a strap.
probably, but I don't want to touch this thing longer than I have to. If it was given to him by some sort of denizen of this place.
Don't worry, then I'll do that part. And Vance reaches down and just slowly pulls it off, but like, or sorry, not slowly, carefully pulls it off,
Hmm.
like trying not to disturb him.
Uh, perfect. As you start doing that, you all hear the boughs of the pine above you rustle, and a voice floats down to you and says, You paused before you said denizen. What were you going to call me before that? Was it a rude name?
I wouldn't say it was rude, but I would call you what you are, or at least what the town thinks you are.
Yeah, I was kind of thinking some sort of deal with the devil.
A devil? Me?
Well, it wasn't confirmed yet, but it's possible.
Are the three of you looking up?
Raquel's definitely looking up.
Vance is, and his grip is tightened on whatever he's holding.
I'm
Okay.
probably looking up. Yeah.
Mm, um. Oh boy. Um. The three of you look up, and you see a rather large spider. Um, staring down at the three of you with its many eyes. When I say rather large, I mean it is perhaps the size of a medium-sized dog, like a golden retriever or a pit bull.
Okay.
All right, now, did you say little me a minute ago? Because I don't think that's right.
um, oh, oh, you're such a jokester.
Does it have a spider's head, or does it have like a humanoid head?
It, as far as you can tell, it is just a very large spider,
Okay.
though you can't tell how it is making human noises. Then again, who knows how Friend makes human noises, and he just has a billion ant mouths, you know?
Oh no,
That's
his
because
makes
he's a
sense.
friend.
I get that
Yeah.
one. Now this spider might trigger an aversion. That's why I'm asking, but
Oh,
I
absolutely.
can't tell yet.
Yeah,
Or
as far as you can tell, a it is not a hybrid animal.
um,
Um, it says, "Now, is there any way I can convince the three of you to let Tommy bring my gift home with him?"
No, sorry, that's not part of the contract.
Oh, that's. Oh man, I need to make sure that my mic picks it up. Ooh, that's Oh man, I can't get my mic to pick it up. Oh, that's too bad. It makes a tisk tisk sound. Um,
Tisk, tisk.
I could offer all manner of things. I could teach you how to make curatives the uh, from the plants about here. You could cure all kinds of diseases or problems in the human body, or learn to master the ingredients you find here. Yes, perhaps. Oh,
Oh well, I am intrigued. Keep going.
Raquel
I
makes the sign of a cross.
could, or I could weave you a cloak that would protect you from the eyes of all unsavory men, especially the one who is no longer a man. But of
Uh,
course, if you're not interested, I suppose I can give up on little Tommy. He was making such good progress.
I do hate the eyes of unsavory men.
Oh, I wish we were playing Savage World so I could give you a Benny for that.
Oh.
I'd give you two Bennies. Anyway.
Vance, Vance gives out a cough, and he says, "I don't think we're looking really to make deals with someone who's not our friend yet. We've got allies in dark places already."
Oh, but I'm not only in dark places. I do enjoy to stretch out in the sun, and as it says that, it does stretch out and appear to kind of recline or like flop down on the tree branch as though it is sunning itself.
I'm imagining it in a hammock web, like reclining in a hammock web right now.
Oh,
So
that's perfect.
I realized something. So it's kind of like
Mhm.
in the shadows of the tree, right?
Um, Currently, it is maybe 10 feet up in the branches of the tree.
So it, is it hard to see just because there's branches in the way, or
It is a little bit hard to see because there's branches in the way, yeah.
because if it was just because it was like hiding in like shadows of branches, Raquel does have a
Mhm.
lantern
Uh-huh.
that is directional,
That's true.
and I'm pretty sure as he's talking and she's like kind of saying the Lord's Prayer,
Okay.
and I think she strikes a match into the lantern because
And
she needs to
points it.
know. Yeah, she needs to know what we're looking at. I think there's just something deep in her that's like, what is this thing?
Oh, interesting.
And then she points it at it.
Ooh, what does that do?
I think
Uh,
as soon as the fire is lit, Vance takes a deep breath in.
okay.
Like he doesn't even realize that he does it, and maybe the fire is lit behind him, but
Hmm.
his body just like relaxes a little bit. And he just takes a deep breath.
Hmm.
And while Vance is taking a deep breath, I think that Jeb probably says, "Well, I might be interested in talking to you more, but I don't think my friends are, so I'm going to have to stick with them."
um, ooh, interesting. Raquel, your beam of light reveals more of the same. This spider appears from this angle to be just a large spider. Um,
Oh man, golden retriever sized spiders. Ugh.
yeah, yeah, absolutely horrific, but also um, not the worst thing you've seen.
Right?
um, she, makes a motion that you translate as shaking her head and says, well, I suppose if you wish to leave, I of course don't have the power to stop you. I just Oh, I need my notes really quick. What was the thing that I
What are you getting from this boy anyway?
Probably what his manager wants. Exposure.
The spider's getting exposure? I don't want that spider exposed any more than it has to be.
Oh, I wouldn't want to be exposed anymore either. No. I do wish that you would stay long enough for me to whisper the secret of capturing the golden honey of the ambrosia wasps.
Oh, the what now?
Oh, I thought you might have heard of it. It is, of course, the most delicious thing that one can find here in the bayou.
I turn to the other two and I say, listen, I'm not sure what this thing's deal is, but we might want to talk to it.
Um, this thing, this thing's deal is taking your soul.
Yeah, but I don't need that anyway.
I think you do. And she kicks him in the shin.
Oh, damn shit.
Oh,
Um,
I have no need of souls. I already have 8 feet of my own. And she does a little wiggle, showing you all of her legs.
I see what you did there.
Jebediah, please, just pick up our friend Tommy there, and we can go.
Oh, I'm gonna pick up the food real quick.
Raquel reaches over to whatever this little guitar case is from Vance.
Mm.
Unless Vance like holds on to it tighter or something.
No, Vance
Yeah.
has no intention of like keeping you from taking it.
Yeah.
You want it finally.
Yeah, Raquel moves to the base of the tree and puts it down. It's like, here is your instrument back.
Vance, what is your wife's name again?
I want to say Isabella off the top of my head, but let me double check.
Okay.
Annabella.
Annabella. As Raquel sets the instrument case down at the foot of the tree, the spider says, "Oh, Doctor, I do have webs that spread across the swamp to a nearby what's the word? A nearby telegraph wire. If you want, I could get word of Annabella. I could send her word of you."
No. If I'm not getting the honey, we're not talking to his wife.
Vance smiles at that. He has genuinely missed Jebediah, and he says, "You've heard the cook," and the doctor agrees.
Very well. If you ever wish to deal, I spend most of my time here, though there are other ways to find me.
Yeah, apparently the telegraph line. So we'll beep you if we need you.
Of course. Of course.
I'm probably packed up by now, and I'll go and start picking up the kid. And I guess we'll leave unless something happens.
No, absolutely. The 3 of you are able to successfully leave if that is your wish.
Yes.
I think so.
Mm-hmm.
Let me take a look at my map. Let's see. So that's the fastest way home. That's pretty fast. Or you could take a more fun route Or you could take a slight. Okay. Someone please give me a roll that has to do with navigating or traveling quickly.
Okay. Let's do this.
Trailblazer, if you would.
Yep, boy. And I'll remember my compass this time.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see if this works. 15 total.
15. A partial success. I'm going to draw a card. Card is Heat Wave. Oh. The first spring thaw, a thermal updraft, a warm embrace. Dead air, oppressive heat, unrelenting drought. Oh, curious. Let's recall that card. Double check my map to see what that applies to. I thought so. Where's that? We are going into realms uncharted, fellas.
Wunderbus.
That was a partial success, right?
Yes.
So that means, that is technically getting you closer to home. Okay. The three of you and your new burden / charge. By the way, did you grab his normal guitar as well?
I definitely would have.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just wanted to make sure we had our facts straight.
Sorry, what was the...
Completely understandable.
I missed the
What was that?
question. Sorry.
Gotcha. You march out of the clearing and quickly find yourselves on a real life actual path. Not just a path, but a newfangled road paved with macadam.
Well, this is just unheard of.
This is the kind of road that maybe only Vance is used to seeing. What year is it? It's like 1890, isn't it? 86. Yep. Oh, it's even earlier than I thought.
Maybe that might be Deadlands. I'll cop to that. That might be Deadlands time.
That's fair. It's about the same time period because that's the most interesting time period in American history.
If it's 86, then the records came out in 77, by the way.
Okay.
1894.
94. Okay, so it is possible for this. So Vance, you might have seen roads like this in the largest cities that you have passed through.
Vance lives in Cincinnati.
Okay, yeah. So you've probably seen like the main thoroughfare in Cincinnati has been paved in this fashion because, or in preparation to, or paved like this to make it more easily traversable by the new horseless coaches that Mr. Henry Ford has been experimenting with.
Well, and it is nice on the feet carrying this boy around too.
That's true. And this road, it goes directly away from the pine, and the further and as you follow it, pretty soon, the road gets wider and wider, and the air starts to get drier, and the bugs get quieter, and suddenly You are in the middle of an arid desert wasteland, the likes of which few of you are familiar with.
What in the Sam hell is this doing in the Bayou?
What?
Winthrop's journal said this place was very strange. Wilthrop. I keep saying Winthrop. Wilthrop.
Hmm.
Like, you mean the desert is strange, or like the whole bayou?
The whole bayou. There's places that shouldn't exist. And he motions to the sand around them.
Hmm.
Is there still this like paved path going through the desert, or does it like fade into this?
It continues into the desert. This road is now perhaps 30 feet wide now. It is a full-on thoroughfare, or it would be if there were more traffic, of course.
What?
Um, to either side, you see a wide, sun-baked prairie. There are a number of Joshua trees and saguaro cactus. Um,
Do you
a
think?
shadow passes over your face, and you
Ooh.
look up and you see a oh man, what is the name of the particular kind of buzzard I'm thinking of?
Turkey buzzard?
I think it might be
Vulture?
a turkey vulture. Yeah, yeah, it's definitely a turkey vulture circling overhead.
Do you think the Army Corps is the one who paved this road?
No, this is more for city folk, a new invention by a man with more money than he's got brains. But no, the Army Corps would make something rough just enough to get horses across, if they're even using horses anymore.
I don't think we have enough water to cross this. As she kind of looks across. Can you see like more trees in the distance, or is it like completely?
Uh, you look around, probably do a full 360, and
Yes.
you can see nothing but high desert in every direction.
I'm taking a close look at that turkey vulture. Does it seem like it's the right size from what I can tell? Just wondering. I've seen a couple birds here, and I don't know about them.
um,
What?
do you have a skill that is applicable to this kind of a thing?
Not even a little bit.
Not
Ooh.
even a little bit.
What in tarnation?
I mean, you've seen vultures before, and this one seems about right.
Okay, okay.
Like it's pretty high up.
Cool, cool. Just wondering. Just wondering.
Hmm.
Oh man. Uh, Raquel looks to her companions like, "Do we want to go back so we know we have at least a chance of water, or?"
I think going back will only get us stuck more.
You're the trailblazer here.
But
Okay.
that is a good point.
She looks at her compass, which is a lot less useful than it probably should be.
I'm gonna look over her shoulder at the compass, like I know anything about trailblazing, and just nod.
Mm-hmm. The only landmarks you have to navigate by are this road and the pine way back in the distance behind you that you can just barely see above the heat haze on the horizon.
Is the pine on on the compass? Is the pine in the direction that we were walking, and like we are walking towards back where Scarstone should be?
Um, that is a funny question. that I don't know the answer to per se. Um,
And so I guess what I'm trying to find out is I'm doing my best to figure out the compass should be like we kind of walked in this way from where the pine
Mhm.
was to Scarstone, and I know we were kind of heading that direction. Now it's should we walk on this road or do we need to go off the road to get to the direction we need?
I see. Um, I think to determine that, I'm going to have to ask you to roll a check.
Okay.
Give me a trailblazing real quick.
Trailblazing, and this will be just +3, not the compass, I don't think.
Oh, makes sense.
18.
18 is good.
Yes, full success.
A full success. You don't have a lot of experience with the Bayou, but you do have a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And you are fairly certain that if you follow this road, you'll be able to make it back to Scarstone. It feels right according to the directions that you know.
I guess we continue following the road for now. And unless there's arguments, she leads the way.
I think that Jeb just follows straight through.
Alrighty.
Vance does as well.
This this area is less to do with traveling quickly and navigating than it has to do with surviving. So if one of you would like to roll me a skill check that has something to do with finding food and or water, or roughing it out in the wild.
I've got experimental foraging only. How does that sound to everyone?
I think you're best equipped.
I think that sounds good.
Makes sense.
+3 is 15.
15. Ooh, 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 ooh.
Excuse me.
A partial success. I dig it. Let me draw a card. Darkness, shadows cast on the cave wall, or a curtain. Okay. I think what this means to me.
A giant tiger head opens up out of the desert.
Who dares disturb my slumber?
The picture totally looked like a locust to me.
That would be maybe more dramatic than a partial success calls for.
Unless it's just one giant locust.
Just one big ass bug.
I kill it, and we cook it up. It's real good.
Oh gosh, one giant locust reminds me of
That's my favorite band.
that is a good band. But I have heard that in some translations of the Torah, that the plague of frogs in Exodus is actually translated to plague of frog singular.
Oh,
So Egypt might have been menaced by a single giant frog made out of divine wrath.
That's almost more terrifying.
Right?
well, until they killed it and cooked it up and ate it.
It's a kaiju battle. Anyway,
Man.
moving on, though, I think what this means to me is that you're out here for an additional night. Jebediah, you are able to. You figure, well, plants need water, and that means that plants from the desert probably grow where water is and probably have a way of storing water for when they need it. And so it takes you just a couple of tries to figure out what kind of cactus to cut open and take a quick sip from.
It's the quenchiest.
I pass acid around. I'm like, here, guys, it's experimental.
Yeah, absolutely. But part of the experimental part of uh, experimental foraging is that you know what to look out for and how to test things to see if they're going to affect you badly, you know?
Of course, yeah. I drink a sip and wait for like a few hours first before any other things, those kinds of stuff.
Mm, yeah, like check to see what, uh, how it affects like other mammals in the area. You notice that there are some little varmints that live out here, some like prairie dogs or something. Um, and just with a little bit of trial and error and patience, you figure, well, this kind of cactus, if I cut it in this way, has enough water to keep us going for a couple more hours, and then we just got to find another one, you know.
Don't worry, guys, I got us.
Good job.
But
Well done.
pretty soon, night falls over the desert, and it is cold.
Ooh. Good thing
Wanna
I
take
got
a
me a
quick-
bedroll.
I want to
Everybody
take a
cuddle
quick
up.
poll here, guys. I have this unconscious kid.
Hmm.
What have I been doing? Have I been reapplying this knockout drug, or did we let him wake up at some point?
I would let him wake up because it's better than carrying him.
I
Yeah.
agree, but he's pretty. I might have to carry him anyway. Have you seen this? Have you seen this kid?
Mm.
He's not
I
in great.
think it depends on how he reacts the first time he wakes up if we
I-
keep reapplying the drug.
Exactly. That's what I'm wondering too.
That's fair. That is a fair.
That is super fair. How about we do a skill check about it?
I don't know what skill check, but I'm down.
Something
Yeah.
to do with
I could lie to him.
Oh, you know what? No. The bedside manner, right? Like he's waking up from being unconscious.
that does
Yeah.
seem applicable.
At least more applicable than gastronomy.
Or trailblazing.
True.
Yeah, could I I want to do bedside manner to like calm him down. And could I do stories tangentially to try to like explain to him that that wasn't a safe place?
Oh, sure. Yeah.
All right. So that'd be a +2 total. 2d12 +2.
16.
Just on the edge of partial success.
Mm-hmm. All right. I think what this means to me is that you convince him to keep going with you, but he is not your friend.
Oh, that's fine. I was gonna say like my other thought was like he's kind of like iffy about it, and then it's like we have to threaten to break the guitar to make him keep coming.
Oh, that's very good. Yes.
I assumed it might be that he's okay with the other two now, but not me, because I was way too welcoming and then just drugged him.
Ooh, that's also very good.
Yeah, that's very good too. We'll definitely apply that.
Ooh.
No.
He might just not trust anything I cook anymore.
Oh yeah.
And so then it's hard to keep him eating.
Oh, that's brutal. I love it.
Being on a raw diet in the middle of
I'm
a
having
desert.
too many negative good ideas, guys.
That is.
You have good negative ideas. All right. So night falls over the desert. It is the temperature is dropping very quickly.
I have this nice bedroll that I stole from an unfortunate soul.
From a homeless person.
Yes. And I suggest we all cuddle up tight.
Well, win in the desert, right?
With the one bedroll. Here we go. I suppose that's the best thing we can do. It's it was never this cold by the pine.
Yeah,
Does
but
anybody have water?
I
You-
hand a cactus to Vance, and I say, "Here, give this to him."
Vance like offers the cactus over and says, "This is all that we've had now for the last few hours."
Oh, I oh, well, and he carefully takes it and like finds a way to get a good slurp of water. It's pretty quenchy.
It'll
Maybe
quench
not
you.
the quenchiest. Um. Hmm.
Does somebody want to stay up first in case that vulture comes down?
I look up suspiciously at it again. Yeah, I'll stay up and watch the vulture.
Okay. Um, you can wake me up when you're tired. And she's like shivering.
Yeah, that's fine. I'll take first watch.
Okay. So Jebediah on first watch, Raquel on second, Vance on third.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Also,
Everybody. Oh, go ahead.
just some subterfuge with this is to make sure that the kid doesn't run back to the pine.
Yeah, he stays in the center of the cuddle puddle.
Okay.
I
Absolutely.
think she like whispers that to the group without him knowing, but I'm kind of worried he'll run back. But
While he's busy poking himself with the cactus trying to get a drink.
I deep pricked it with the help. I can't reword this right.
well, it's
You-
I
fine.
de-spined it.
Mostly.
Almost entirely. All right. I would like each of you to please roll me a straight up 2d12.
Ooh, okay, here we go. Nope.
4, 10, 15.
Okay.
I don't think we're sleeping much tonight.
Vance, you are woken up very early in the morning by Raquel. And you take up your watch. It is rather peaceful at this time of night. The sky is just barely beginning to have some hints of gray in it. But you can still see the stars. Most of the nocturnal creatures have already found their food or become food for something else. And most of the daylight creatures are not going to wake up for another couple hours yet. So it catches your eye pretty quickly when you notice there is movement on the road. You notice it when it's maybe a mile or two distant. You're not sure. It's hard to gauge distance here. There are no real landmarks, But
Is it
Tre-
something that's moving quickly, or is it?
it is hard for Vance to really tell. You're pretty sure it's moving pretty slowly, but at the same time, it arrives and is passing you much sooner than you thought it would. You see a figure in a long tattered cloak with a hood wrapped all the way around its face to make it completely featureless. The up close, the cloak is clearly tattered and worn, and just soaking wet with sweat. Um, and this figure is wrapped in huge iron chains, with which it is pulling with main force a cart behind it. One shuffling step at a time, straining and panting and grunting as it moves past you. You are almost certain at times that this uh, figure, this thing, has got to just be a dream. Um, Especially when you realize it's not a cart. Well, it's not just a cart. It is a coffin on wheels.
I think Vance takes a quiet moment to start etching like a small design of this into the notebook that he now has,
Mm-hmm.
and just like simple information, just you know, on the road, at dawn, in desert, that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Does the pardon me, does the leading creature seem to be like um blind or like void of senses?
It certainly does not appear to notice you or pay you any mind. Um, at least like from where the three of you are.
Yeah, Vance just sits very quietly if it doesn't seem to be trying to interact with him.
Absolutely. Um, and it seems to take forever, but it soon passes, and then you blink, and it is half a mile away, and then you blink again, and it is on the far edge of your vision. Um, and then you blink again, and the sun is peeking up over the horizon, and it's not on the road. It's nowhere to be seen.
Vance just takes a long pull off one of his cigarettes and he realizes that it's completely burnt up, like he's been just sitting there letting it burn for the last 30 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
He just shakes his head and gets up to start getting ready to move for the day.
I've decided that I wake up.
Mm-hmm.
I'll probably start making breakfast and stuff, but I assume that we'll just head out, or are you going to tell us about this too?
Vance probably doesn't mention it right now. There, like it wasn't a threat, and there needs in his mind there needs to be more focus on surviving the day than worrying about something that wasn't trying to hurt us passing by, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
That sounds good to me.
Okay.
Alrighty. And with that, the four of you now currently continue on.
Yes.
Let's see. You've already got a trick to get water. You've survived for a little while. Let me see. What are my notes for here?
Since it's a new day and also a new session, would you be all right if I made another healing roll on Raquel?
Absolutely. Go for it.
All right. +3 for first aid and 2 for medicine knowledge. 15. partial success, which is treated differently because I have knowledge of healing, I believe.
What in Sam Hill?
Here we go, health. You have directly applicable bonuses. If you roll a partial success, you heal your patient by 1. Okay, so yeah, you gain 1 more health.
Nice.
Raquel.
Nice.
From 3 to 4. If you have perfect.
Okay. So you spend the next. Do you do much talking as you walk that next morning, or are you mostly just conserving your strength?
Yes.
We were actually talking about what countries we've traveled to and some deep dark secrets. You know, the usual.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, that makes sense.
Vance shared a long story about water, which everyone got upset about.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was the wrong time to talk about not liking water.
Absolutely. Um,
Well, that's what made him think about it. It's like, man, I really wish I had water.
yeah.
No,
You
we kept talking about water, and he was just offhandedly like, "Ah, yeah, man, I hate water."
For a long time, I had a fear that water would just overtake the whole world.
And we're looking around at the desert like, "Yeah, oof, it might."
Maybe one day, buddy.
um, you've been you'd been walking for maybe only about an hour and a half this morning, uh, before you all simultaneously realizing that you've been kind of trudging with your heads down, just like staring at the road in front of you, and you all simultaneously realize this, and you look up, and in front of you you see the foreboding bramble of trees and underbrush of the swamp ahead of you once again.
Por
And
Dios.
it would almost be a good thing if only you weren't certain that every single one of those plants was moving independently from one another, ever so slowly.
Um,
I thought I would be thankful when we got back, but here we are.
I really hate this place. I think
I don't think that Jeb says anything. I think he just stares at the plants and just like off in space.
yeah.
Oh,
Raquel just has her hand resting on her saber but keeps going forward as she's watching these.
Jeb follows. Every once in a while, grabbing the kid by the shoulder and like directing him a little bit more ahead of him.
oh,
I think Vance brings up the rear, and he starts whistling, just like quietly as they go through this part. Because you said it was morning now, right?
yeah.
Yeah. So just like a quiet little tune.
It's not a funeral march, right?
No.
No.
Jar. Background. around a little. Well, no. Let's change it to something more morning time, I think.
Good job, Alexei. Alexei Elfimov. It is very beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Too bad Roll20 does not support gifts.
Ooh, that would be nice. Anyway, so let's see. What does this section have in store for y'all? Fun. Fun, fun, fun. All right.
Probably not fun, but
I would love for somebody to make me a roll that has something to do with moving quickly.
oh. Quickly through plants?
Sure.
Or before.
You do still have the road, which, by the way, has narrowed once again to about one lane.
Okay. So if we're going through the plants, I would do trailblazing and dancing. For whatever reason, I don't use dancing as like the main directional thing, but as like a quick thing, a quick
Okay.
step, if you would.
If you're focusing on moving quickly, I think I would like you to reduce trailblazing to a tangential
Tangential.
bonus.
And I can get
Right.
that now, right? Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So
Because you have willpower.
does it round up or down? I forget.
Round up.
Okay.
Because I said I don't know what the rules say.
It
But
rounds
Plus
up.
5. 9 total.
Oh.
Oof.
Oh no.
Thank goodness we rounded up.
Failure.
So, no compounding ramifications, but you do fail your task.
We are not moving quickly.
We are not moving quickly. Let's see. That reads to me like there's something in the way, right?
Some sort of complication, anyway, where we can't move quickly where we're trying to go.
It's a wall of
Uh,
tumbleweeds.
That's funny. I think. Oh, you know what it is? Is Tommy can't keep up.
Ooh.
Damn it, Tommy! Don't make me carry you again.
Yeah, he is. Okay, yeah, he is very
Uh,
unhealthy right now.
Or maybe it's even just between me trying to carry him every once in a while and him walking, we're just lagging.
yeah, the both of you are now really worn out. Interesting. Make this note. Okay. So it looks like you can't move quickly. Would somebody like to roll me something that has to do with moving quietly and avoiding detection?
Ooh, I think I can do that one.
Ooh.
Yeah, I can roll. Oh, I lost track of my character.
Teach me some skills, Doctor.
Hunting with surgery tangential, if you would be all right with that.
Oh, interesting. Sell me on surgery.
So the aspect of like needing to focus on exactly what you're doing, being able to like hold your breath for an extended period of time to make that perfect incision.
Okay. Moving with precision.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay, yeah. I'll buy that as a tangential bonus.
All right.
Roll that with your +2, looks like. Well,
Full success.
a full success. Absolutely. The four of you have to move much more slowly, but every time there is more movement in the woods than you're used to, Vance immediately draws attention to it and helps everyone to kind of freeze in place, find solid footing where they're not going to slip and make more noise. Move quickly uh, in the short term so that you can continue moving steadily in the long term, right? Sorry, I need to get a little more water. I will be right back.
Perfect.
At this point, Vance has definitely stopped whistling.
What?
I am so sneaky.
Hey guys, there's a monster over there.
That makes perfect sense. I'm glad that we took care of that.
Whistling straight in the beginning from Robin Hood, and everything's just following behind in step, enjoying the tune.
All these crazy looking monsters. Got some piles of ants. We got some giant people. Yeah, this sounds right.
Yeah, absolutely.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Welcome back.
To Jurassic Park.
If you didn't hear, Vance just said he stopped whistling while we were having these monsters around us.
Being sneaky. Yeah.
That makes sense. Absolutely. Let's see. That was a full success roll. Quietly, I think. There is a moment where you all see a branch in the road. It's not a true fork necessarily, but like there is a path worn through the brush. That is, it's marked with some like some stacks of rocks that for some reason even these moving plants don't encroach on. And you can see a little while along this path off the main road, you can see a what looks like a circle of large stones. In kind of it, not in the same formation as Stonehenge, but in something that we would recognize as a circle of standing stones, similar to what Stonehenge is. Um,
But what does it mean, Doctor?
I don't know what anything means.
Could I roll a quick stories check?
Sure.
Let's see. I'm trying to think if anything else would help. This probably not. Nope. No. Nope. I think
Nope.
that's our first compounding failure.
Oh my.
Ooh.
Yay! You're like, what do I know about this place? And then all of a sudden we're dead.
Rocks fall, everyone dies.
Oh,
Oh, those
Wow.
are big teeth sticking out of the ground from a monster, and it
Some
stands up.
some people should survive back death.
Let's see.
Man, a compounding failure on the story.
In the context of a stories roll, what does a compounding failure mean? Last time, it was on a mixed success that I gave you 2 truths and a lie, right?
Yes.
So
Okay.
this time we get 2 lies and a
But-
truth.
I think that was also a research roll as well, because I
Oh.
was using the book.
Yeah, that's true.
This is also just you rolled 2-1. Oh, man, sorry. Oh,
I think for this one, gosh,
I don't know what this thing is, for
Yeah.
sure.
yeah, you
But-
absolutely don't know.
If...
Or you absolutely think you know. Wrong.
Yeah. Oh, what I'm thinking is, it's one of those things, kind of like in oh god, Atlantis, where the once they're like spoken to by the stone, they lose all sense of surrounding and just kind of start approaching it.
Oh.
So like I think maybe when Raquel says, "What is it, Doctor?" Vance looks over and starts to like think about it, maybe even reaches for the journal, and then just like his arms go limp and he just starts walking towards it.
Oh, that's a very fun pitch. Let me double check my notes and see how that applies. Oh, okay. Yeah, you instantly like Vance's mind goes completely blank, and all you know is that you need to get to the middle of that circle of stones and place your hand on that altar in the middle. Jeb and Raquel, you notice this change go over Vance as he stands up and he just starts walking forward. Um,
I would say
it's like he's walking on autopilot.
Raquel like reaches for him, but something I think like stops her from like grabbing him before he gets, just because it's a compounding failure. I don't think she can grab him, but like she tries to reach for him, and either she
Okay.
like has a small slip or nothing too drastic, but
Right. Oh, that's a really good. That's a very strong choice. I like that.
I mean, I basically think that Jeb gives a thumbs up, but I mean,
Mm, um,
Jeb sees him walking over there and is just like nods and looks away again.
yeah.
and then
Um, go ahead.
Raquel hisses like a whisper, like, "What are you doing? Do you hear Vance? Do you hear me? Psst, Vance."
Vance,
Vance,
the stones are whispering to you.
as Vance is walking, Raquel notices his cigarette just tumble out of his mouth.
Ooh.
That's good. Vance, the stones are speaking to you. They're telling you secrets in a language that you can't quite understand. It's almost like you took 3 years of language classes in high school, but just never actually got the mastery of the language to actually be conversational in it. You feel like you recognize all of the words that the stones are saying to you, but none of them make sense in context. They run together like the burbling of a stream. But you still know what you need to do. You step into the middle of this circle of stones and you place your hand upon the altar in the middle. Etched into the stone of the altar, there is a handprint that your fingers fit snugly into. And just above that handprint, there are 3 lines gouged into the stone. And each of those lines is glowing a dark indigo blue. Vance, please roll a willpower check.
Yeah. That's good.
That's a good willpower check. Excellent.
Does something? Can we see anything affecting this stone circle when he touches it?
Yes, sorry, I was like trying to juggle both the like visual thoughts of what it would look like and also what it does at the
Yes.
same time. Let me double check my notes. Um, Vance, you had a good willpower check.
Yep, made it. Made it by 1.
But this all happened because of a compounding failure.
Yep.
Fun. Okay. So, the indigo blue light leaches out from the gouges on the altar and fills the clearing inside the circle of stones, in a well-defined dome shape. Inside of the dome, you see, or perhaps you can sense, or maybe you can just hear them, the spirits of hundreds or maybe thousands of people who have done this before you. Or maybe people who will do it, or maybe the people who might have had a chance to do it if you weren't doing it now. The stones speak to you in the language of the stars, and Vance, which of your aversions would you like to lose?
Gosh, that's a hard choice. I think rhythmic percussion.
Okay,
Just because that one, like, literally from a gameplay choice of that one is harder to fit into.
that makes sense. You lose your aversion to rhythmic percussion. Um, the sound of your own heart no longer terrifies you at night and keeps you up. And with the sound of of a boulder crashing a into a glacier, uh, the dome of indigo light shatters into dust, and one of the 3 gouges in the altar goes dark.
Is he in control of
Well,
himself now?
that was impressive.
Yes.
Vance immediately like pulls his hand up, looks at it, and then has a huge cough where the ash goes everywhere.
Hmm.
And he clears his throat and looks over, or looks around and says, "Is everyone all right?"
Jeb looks around, like at his surroundings around him. He's like, nothing happened to me.
Raquel just has like a face of like concern.
Hmm.
Pretty sure that this just solidified in Jeb's head that pretty much everything has the possibility of a nice good thing happening.
Oh no.
Vance like rubs his head as he walks back toward the group and he says, I don't know exactly what happened, but I feel better. But I don't think how to put it.
What?
I don't think that was the only option.
Why? We should keep moving.
Well, I don't know. I don't know. He said that was pretty nice.
Well, it was loud. I don't. We're. She's like looking around into the trees around. After that big boulder crashing into a glacier.
Vance quickly pulls out the book and like marks like almost the path of where this was.
Mm-hmm.
Says, "Let's lead us away from here then, Raquel."
She looks to you, Jebediah, and it's like just kind of wondering what you're going to do real quick, or like if you're going to resist, or you're going to go put your hand on it now.
Jeb will follow.
Mm-hmm.
But as he's walking away, he's going to look back longingly.
Because nothing bad happened, she might let you if you wanted to. Just.
I think that if we're ever here again, he's gonna just do it. But
Okay.
I think that for now, the idea that the loud noises makes sense.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
How are we doing on time, by the way?
We're 2 hours in, so if we want to pause here.
It's about as long as we normally go.
Yep.
That seems like a good stopping point. I don't know if whenever.
I'm good to stop here.
Okay, let's pause here. Thank you, everybody who joined us. We're roll for that. We've been playing Gravemire. Hopefully, you guys enjoy the crazy shenanigans.